At least they're fun to watch. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another video of Sports Talk Buffalo. At the start of the season, I made a bold prediction about the Buffalo Sabres that they would finish 33, 40, and 9, giving them 75 points and making them watchable for this season. So how has my prediction held up so far this season? Through 41 games, the Buffalo Sabres are 13, 21, and 7. That puts them on pace for 26 wins, 42 losses, and 14 overtime losses, which would equate to 66 points. Now, while my predictions haven't quite been that accurate, if you've watched the Sabres play at all this season, you know that they have looked way better and have played way better than their record suggests on most nights. Last season, the Sabres averaged just under 2.5 goals a game, while giving up 3.55 goals a game. This season, at least through 41 games, the Buffalo Sabres have made improvements in both areas. They average about 2.7 goals per game, while giving up less than 3.5 goals a game, 3.46. Now, something else to take into account, yes, those numbers don't seem like they're that much of a difference, but something you can take into account this season is that the Buffalo Sabres have been riddled with injuries all season long. I cannot remember a season where the Buffalo Sabres have had so many injuries. You have to take into account that the Sabres have dealt with injuries through their entire lineup, from goaltending to defense to offense. There has been no position that has been safe from the injury bug for the Buffalo Sabres. And while all teams deal with injuries, I highly doubt most teams in the NHL are starting on a regular basis their 5th and 6th string goaltenders. Now, I also did multiple player predictions for this season in that previous video. You can go check it out. It's on the Sports Talk Buffalo page. How did those projections pan out to what we're seeing so far this season? Now, I had Middlestat being the Sabres leader in points or close to it, over 50 to 55 points. I believe I had him scheduled or on pace for. However, he has had an injury-riddled season. He is one of the guys that has dealt with constant injuries all season long, and he has just 1 point, 1 goal in 4 games this season. Now, Dylan Cozens is another guy that I pegged to have a good uptick this season, and a lot of people, I had some comments saying that they didn't believe that Dylan Cozens would be anywhere close to kind of what I had him pegged at this season. However, my prediction was 17 goals and 24 assists for 41 points. So far this season, Cozens has 10 goals, 10 assists, and 20 points. That puts him on pace for 43 points in 82 games. And since he's missed a little bit of time, he will be on pace for 41 points in 79 games, provided he does not miss another game this season, which pegs him right about where I thought he would be. So kudos to me for being able to predict the next level for Dylan Cozens. Now, the next one is Jeff Skinner. Jeff Skinner, I had a prediction of 21 goals, 19 assists for 40 points, and I thought that was a high prediction. In all reality, I did predict him to have a bounce-back year. However, Jeff Skinner has seemed to take his game to another level under Don Granato. So far, he has 16 goals, 11 assists for 27 points in these first 41 games. He is on pace for 55 points in 80 games as he's missed 2 games. And he's on pace for 57 points per 82 games. Jeff Skinner right now is at a 34 goal pace. I had him at 21. He is on pace to go over 30 goals this season. He is having himself a tremendous season, and that is a welcome sign for all Sabres fans as we acknowledge the fact that, yes, he did not, in fact, forget to play hockey, and that Ralph Krueger is potentially one of the worst hockey coaches in the history of the NHL. There has been multiple players on this Buffalo Sabres team that have emerged as top-level players this season and as the season has gone on. The first player that I wanted to talk about, at least on the offensive production side, is Rasmus Darlene. He is currently tied for the Sabres with the Sabres in points, for the Sabres lead in points with 28 points, 7 goals, and 21 assists. And while he still leaves something to be desired on the defensive end, he has been simply dynamite offensively for the Buffalo Sabres this season. That fact cannot be denied. Secondly, the emergence of Tage Thompson has been absolutely incredible. After being placed at center by Coach Don Granato, he has transformed himself into a legitimate top 6 player and potentially a top 2 center for the Buffalo Sabres. He is currently tied with Rasmus Darlene in terms of points. He has 28 points, 14 goals, and 14 assists. And he's playing at about a 60-point pace per 82 games. Right now, he's on pace for 29 goals, 29 assists, if he does not get hurt again for the rest of the season. The most impressive thing for the Buffalo Sabres is that they have been getting contributions consistently throughout their lineup, and they currently have 8 players who are on pace for 30 or more points this season. I think the fact that the Sabres are still winning games and still competing in games with their 5th and 6th string goaltenders says a lot about how well prepared the coaching staff has these guys to play on a nightly basis. Yes, the Sabres do come out and lay an egg every once in a while. However, on most nights, they are fun to watch. Yes, they do give up a lot of goals. But again, injuries to the goaltenders, injuries to the back end, injuries to the forwards, it all plays a part in how well the Buffalo Sabres are doing. And the fact that they are this competitive with this many injuries, with basically no superstars, coming into the season, people predicted the Sabres would have an all-time worst NHL roster. Now, my predictions are a little bit closer than theirs were. However, I think with the additions of Krebs, Tuck into the lineup, and players like Quinn, he had 2 points in 2 games before he got hurt, and he was averaging well over a point per game in the AHL. You have Peterka, who are both ready to be in the lineup next season, and goalie prospects like Devin Levi and Eric Portillo. And the Buffalo Sabres appear to finally be building towards a very, very bright and solid future, something that Sabres fans have longed for over a decade. Hopefully, this will finally bring an end next season to the longest playoff drought in NHL history. However, if you haven't watched the Sabres, I'm going to tell you now, they are fun to watch. So jump on the bandwagon so that you can say you were here for the hard times also when the Sabres turn that corner next season. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like the video so that more people can see it. We talk Bills, Sabres, and UB Bulls, men's basketball and football right here on this page. We have videos nearly every single week. Guys, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic week.